Hello everyone, welcome to my Extreme Ultimate Decades Challenge. It is me, Haysie Simmer, and this is the year 1326. I am very excited to record this video for you guys. Please, first of all, excuse me looking like a potato. I have a cold right now, so I just kind of feel a little fevered and not too great, so I didn't want to get like all dressed up for everything, so I'm going to keep my head in the corner. But I did want to do like a little quick chat with you guys because after Businesses and Hobbies came out, I went and edited things around the world of Avalon. I was really I was sad to see that you couldn't have like an apartment and a small business on your lot because it uses the same system. And to me, that was kind of crazy because you can only have 8 apartments on your lot. So in theory, why couldn't you have like one be a small business and 7 apartments? Because it's just the same system. So I'm hoping a modder will fix that because I really wanted to turn like our little alder village into official businesses, but I can run it with groups just fine, pay them myself if I wanted to. So that maybe just be something I choose to do. I did update the castle because my castle lot wasn't working again. So I don't know if it's the lot itself that's glitched or because I made them into apartments, but I downloaded this beautiful castle and it has a bunch of little houses on it, and I use those as apartments for the royal family. So I'm very excited. I made the church and tavern pub over here into a bakery and a butcher small business, and we have some new townies. I went through and edited all my townies as well, and then I noticed I had a glitch that skin details were being removed, so they looked better when I did them, but at least they're all cohesive enough. We have on this lot, I wanted to tell you guys, Cadian and his wife Allison moved in. Cadian is apprenticing under the butcher, who is the son of the baker. So it's Butcher Stanley and Baker Stanley. So senior and junior. Senior is the baker, and he has taken Allison under his wing for baking bread, and they have a little small business that I hope we get to actually use. And with the butcher, I made a little meat market, so I'm hoping it's functional and we'll check it out. I also updated the tavern here that was originally owned by Calvin Godwin, and he left it to his ex-wife, Euphema, who's in a relationship with John Merriman. Not sure why his picture still glitched, but and they hired their family members. So actually, I'm really excited about that because at the tavern, I'm really excited about that because now our tavern workers will be dressed in medieval time period, and there'll be people we know. So that was really exciting. I also did Scott's Tavern and Inn. So they're technically okay. So they're both tavern and inns, but since this is a port, it wouldn't be weird to have 2 taverns and inns. The Scott family, as you know, are like from Himford on Bagley, but this is their medieval form. And they have a daughter and a son as well. And we will see the daughter working in the tavern as like a barmaid. Theirs is more of a finer establishment where like deals are done and there's like a game room. So that is going to be really exciting as well. We also have like at the butcher's above the area is like a performance area. So that's really fun, as well as there is like a chapel where you can light candles for people in prayer, which is going to be different than the actual other chapels that we have. So I'm really excited about that. But aside from that, that's the only businesses I got started on. So we're going to get into this year, and I'm so excited because we're starting to lay the groundwork for the 100-Year War. Right now, I'm at the castle, and the king and queen they're roughly 50 years old, and they're getting on in age. So they're out here taking a stroll around the port in Docktown. Probably, oh yeah, they were checking out the new butcher and bakery over here. So King Richard Lionheart has called together his family to sit around the tactical map table to discuss some very important business. He has big, important news. Recently, the kingdom has received a letter from the Kingdom of Moria. If you guys remember, the Kingdom of Moria is the kingdom where Princess Josephine came from. Princess Josephine was the bride of King Richard's first son, Prince James. And if you guys remember, they had a very toxic and not healthy relationship. And during his coup to overthrow the kingdom, Princess Josephine went back to Moria with their living children. So King Richard recently got news that Josephine's children have made it into teenhood. And since Prince Augustine has lost his wife and children, he has sworn never to remarry. King is honoring that, but he has a proposition that was brought to him by the King of Moria, and the King of Moria is Princess Josephine's brother. And her brother, who controls the armies of this kind of hostile kingdom since their treaty was broken, he's demanding that his sister's children be given the titles they were supposed to have. But instead of them being king and queen because they are so young, he is demanding that Prince Augustine name his sister's child and his nephew, Prince John, to be his heir for the kingdom of Avalon. So Prince John is the only living son between the only born and living son between Prince James and Princess Josephine's union. And since Prince James was never named king, even though he's King Richard's firstborn grandson that he knows of through his son, he technically isn't heir because Augustine is the king's living son right now. So he's going to inherit the throne. But since Augustine has sworn not to take a bride and procreate, they feel it's the best in the interest of the kingdom to make this bargain with Moria and name Prince John Augustine's heir apparent. But to do so, the King of Moria has demanded that Prince Augustine be sterilized so they can know he will hold his word to no longer procreating, and he must sign a contract vowing to never marry, which Prince Augustine is honestly fine with that. But Prince Augustine wants to go to Moria himself to finalize the treaty and to prove that he will, essentially never procreate to their king. They need to keep good relations with Moria because Moria has a really big kingdom. So with that being said, Prince Augustine is off to Moria. We have Adelaide in here because she is the granddaughter of the king and queen, and she is technically a princess, so they have her more involved with political things, as well as she has to create the potion to sterilize Prince Augustine. I hope you guys do not find offense with what the topic. I hope you guys don't find offense with the topic. Prince Augustine lost his one true love. He would never want to have any illegitimate heirs. He truly believes that the Lionheart line is cursed due to everything that they did to the Gothic line. So he might slip up and, woohoo with another sim. So he is 100% down. He's down for a permanent form of birth control if it means the best for his kingdom. And he doesn't mind if his older brother's son becomes his heir because he just lost his two sons. He knows that his nephew grew up without his father, who was a piece of crap. But, the way he sees it is like this is his chance to better the future generations by taking him under his wing. And Princess Adelaide has agreed to move into the castle with Ashton and her son to help look out for John whenever Prince Augustine comes back from Moria. The king's health isn't doing so well as well because they are in their the king is in his 50s, and honestly they don't have much time left. I don't know if you guys remember, this is Armando. He is the magical child between Prince James, who they think is between Prince James and the Dark Witch who helped overthrow the king. Wait. Armando is dying. We didn't even get to enjoy him. He is the child of the Dark Witch Adriel and the Prince James. He's their illegitimate child, but technically he is the clone of the Dark Witch. He was meant to be a puppet that she was going to control on the throne, but since she passed away, the king and queen have been raising him, and he's relatively good, but it looks like he is about to pass away. So that's unfortunate. Maybe he is sick. We will say he's having a coughing fit and he's ill because he's dying from laughter, but I usually have an emotional deaths off with MCC. But the king and queen are in here witnessing his death, which means they could be exposed to whatever killed him. She brought this proposition over to King Richard Lionheart for her sons in exchange for peace with the kingdoms. So Augustin and her are going to go back to Moria. Where's Augustin? Augustin and her are about to go back to Moria and settle this treaty. Moria is not too far away either, so they have to keep good peace with them. And here are the little princelings that were born late in the life of the queen and king. Again, like I said, they were 50. So I'm going to say that they were 47 when they had the kids. But, yep, it looks like he has passed away. And I can't do anything until he is reaped. Alrighty. Well, we have another ghost in the kingdom. Let's go check on our main households. So I'm here on Alder Farm in Alder Village, playing with the main household. We have a very pregnant Tiara. I do think because I was editing the town, her pregnancy did evolve further than I expected it to. Tiara is meditating though and trying to get a premonition. Since everyone in the kingdom knows that Moria has threatened war if their terms are not met, she has more belief in the vision that her nephew Amor has. And her niece Adelaide is now in the castle too. So Adelaide gave Tiara a bunch of information about what's going on. So she is currently trying to get a clearer vision and see if she can get any glimpse of a way to make sure her family and the Alder family survives what this future doom is kind of being prophesized by Amor. So in her meditation, she has seen that the only thing that is going to protect the Alder family line from elimination is Arthur and Taryn's relationship, which, if you remember, Arthur married Princess Taryn, and Lancelot is a key player. She keeps getting visions of Lancelot like cheering people on, leading people into battle, and then people clapping and cheering for Arthur. So she is going to send a message to Arthur and Lancelot to have a meeting and discuss what they could do to ensure that nothing happens to them, because the only path that she can see for the Alder family to survive is for Arthur and Lancelot to be safe when the conflict comes. And she is seeing that they're not in the kingdom until things get bad and then they come back and save it, but she doesn't like see how. She's just getting glimpses and pictures. All right, so we're gonna sleep, and then tomorrow she's gonna compose a letter for Frederick to take to Lancelot and Arthur. She's way too close to giving birth for her to be traveling, so she's gonna ask them to meet us here, which is honestly probably the best thing for us. It is 3 a.m. and the mother of the girls, Isolde and Anne, Mary, who was Frederick's first wife, is talking to Isolde while she was knitting. I do love this like haunted element of the land where the family is very close to their ancestors and their dead family, because it's kind of like they never lost them since they get to interact with them. I will say maybe like during like the 3 days of the full moon, they get to interact with them. So there's a little piece that they have with that loss. Talia is also in here watching over Frederick. I do believe that she can sense some kind of paranormal events happening, and since they are so connected to the afterlife. But it does look like the matrons of the family are watching over everyone while they're in the middle of this questionable time with the Kingdom of Moria. Girls are starting on their morning chores. Isolde is picking up the house, and Anne is going to tend to the animals as usual. Anne has built a really good relationship with her horse, Dawn. I genuinely love how the horses let the children mount. It is so precious. Anne is going to, for sure, be one of the best horsemen in the village. or in the kingdom even, because she rides multiple times a day, every day. I think it's one of the things that brings her the most joy. Since his wife is about to give labor, Frederick is kind of on his own doing the house chores, but he would, oh yay, she likes horseback riding. But yeah, Frederick's on his own doing the chores, of course, around the farm because Tiara is so close to giving birth. Frederick hard at work, stocking up on supplies to sell in his blacksmithery. The family really has grown so much in the 26 years we've been playing. Frederick really needs to make sure he saves a good bit of money because he has 2 daughters that he has to pay dowry for. He has 1 son, and his wife is pregnant with another one. So he's got 4 children to provide for, and the whole family is looking up to him as his father, Jacob, is just getting older now. So I have him working on blacksmithing, but he is uncomfortable from washing. So I think I'm going to have him... Oh, so Adelaide is here. I'm going to have Tiara talk to her about everything that she knows about the deal with Moria and Prince Augustin. So Tiara is getting an update from her niece Adelaide about what's going on with Moria and Prince Augustin. By now, Prince Augustin would have landed in Moria. And Tiara is letting Adelaide know that she has finally gotten a vision about... Uh-oh, they both got the same message. But Tiara is letting Adelaide know. Tiara is letting Adelaide know that she has finally gotten a vision about this prophecy Amor is talking about, but it's not looking good. She does know that Arthur and Lancelot are key players in their family's like survival and the more positive outlook for the kingdom, but she really can't see any deeper than that unless she went to the magical realm in the Enchanted Woods of Glimmerbrook. So she is telling Adelaide that maybe after she gives birth, she will be heading that way to focus up more on the potentials of the prophecy and the different branches of the prophecy. All right, everyone is all here. Tiara is telling Lancelot and Arthur about her prophecy, how she is getting glimpses of this vision that her nephew and an eligible heir to the throne of Prince Amor, Gothic, Lionheart Gothic, has gotten. Arthur and Lancelot do not know who Amor is. So she's telling him how Amor is the younger brother of Adelaide, who is a living son of Lord Roderick and Princess Eleanor from their union. Princess Eleanor had a few children. She had 2 sons, and she had her daughter Adelaide. So Adelaide is here to tell them about the prophecy that her brother got, and that her brother is a potential heir to the throne, but he doesn't want the throne. He doesn't want to overthrow the Lionheart family. So everyone's getting in on the information, but Tiara and Adelaide are letting them know, like, hey, our Gothic living family doesn't want to overthrow. We just want peace in the magical community. We do not want to be a part of the royal line anymore. But, you know, my nephew and Adelaide's brother is a legitimate line to the throne. And he is seeing a future where he is the only good option to be king for the kingdom. Because he sees this giant war happening and it all kind of revolves around him being the potential king. So everyone is trying to decide what they're going to do about it. And Tiara is saying, after me and Frederick have this child, I will be heading off to the magical community to study the branch of this prophecy a little bit deeper with other psychics. And she explains to them how in the Enchanted Forest, there is a portal to a realm that's outside of time and space that has access to magic that they can't even dream of, but they can only use it there. So she's going to study it with the blessing of Frederick. She is going to be taking their newborn son and their other child, Geralt, to stay with her mother, Isabella Gothic, as well in the Enchanted Forest. So everyone's sad that she has to leave, but they understand. And she's also letting Lancelot... She's also letting Lancelot that his wife, Millicent, need to leave, as well as Taryn and Arthur need to leave. So Taryn and Arthur are going to flee to the countryside of Himford on Bagley. It's still part of the Kingdom of Avalon. It's just away from the main castles and the port. It's really out into the country. His dad, Jacob, is getting old and sick in years, so he's letting his dad know he appreciates everything that he's done for him and that he most likely will not be seeing him again. And Lancelot is saying that he is going to train with the elves and Millicent's family in the magical community to make sure he can lead the armies of good to save the kingdom if he is called upon. They're taking, after everything that happened with the coup and the dark magic, they are taking it very serious when they get a warning from the magical community. So the family is just trying to prepare. They're also going to really stock up on crops and maintaining things and trying to build a safety net for this war that they are getting a prophecy about, because they do not want to be caught unaware and go through what they went through with the famine again. Lancelot has always dreamed that his life would be full of adventure, so he is ready to be called upon like the Lancelot of old. And we just got the notification that Tiara is going into labor. It's almost time for her to go to the Enchanted Woods and stay at the Gothic estate out there and protected. So we're going to do the rolls for her. So for her to survive, she just can't get a 1. And then for the baby, it's 5, 10, 15, 20. Awesome. The baby makes it. That is great news. So they had a baby boy, and she is going to name him Mort because her father is Mortimer. And she is creating a teleportation circle to travel to the magical realm. And she will be taking her sons, Mort and Geralt, with her to the magical realm to stay with her at the Gothic household with their family there. And here they go. Looks like Katie and Adelaide also helped her bring her kids here, but we will see Tiara in a few years. She has to do a little bit of studying, and she wants to protect her children, her sons, the heirs to the Alder estate. And the safest place for them is the magical realm. And since her family is one of the founding families of the magical realm, she is able to access this place to protect them. It is later in the year now that Tiara has given birth and warned the Alder Village family community that she does truly believe in this prophecy from Amor, and she has asked that Lancelot and Arthur heed her warning, but they will need to take a little bit more time, so they're not going to be moving out till the end of the year. But she has already been in the magical realm for a few months. Right now we are with Francis and Jenna. Jenna just got back from the magical realm to check on Adelaide, and everything seems to be going fine. So she will have to kind of help out more around Alder Farm since they're missing a hand here, and Francis and his boys are also helping out. So we're just kind of going to maintain this for a little while. Joshua is telling his sister Catriona how he has asked their father if he can go study at the monastery to become a priest one day, and he will miss his sister, and she's going to miss him too, but she's happy for him because this is something he's been passionate about for the last couple of years. His spiritual studies and devotion to the Watcher is so important to him. And Catriona wants to see her brother reach his goals. And they're arguing technically. Maybe they're arguing about like who gets his toys once he's gone. She was like, as long as I get your toys. But he's like, no, I want them. But he can't take them with him. So Joshua's coming out to say goodbye to his older brother Theodore as well and tell him how much he's going to miss him. But he is just feeling the calling of the Watcher. Oh my goodness, what is this glitch? These are all bikes. Guys, do you see this? What is this? Oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is a bike glitch. Okay, so I guess I'm going to add it to the game. We see an army moving through the southern part of the kingdom, and everyone is getting scared by all this traffic. There's an army camped out right outside in the country of Avalon, and they don't recognize the coat of arms. Joshua and Francis are on their way to the monastery to drop him off for his internship. There is a sister around the corner as well. It must be like a day where all the villagers who are interested in this career path for their future meet up and travel together. Princess Taryn and Arthur have brought over the Queen and Adelaide to talk about them moving out to the country estate. They kind of want to warn the Queen that there are rumors in the magical community that something may be going down in the next couple of years, that things are kind of seeming ominous. And the Queen is definitely feeling sad about it because she believes it has to do with Moria as well. So she's here to say goodbye to her daughter and her grandchildren because she doesn't know if she will be seeing them again. So she's giving her a big hug. And Adelaide is here to cast a protection spell over her and the kids. But we do need to do the roll for Lamar. Oh, wait, she had new kids. Okay. So we have some rolls to do. We need to roll for the Princess Taryn. We need to roll for her new kids and name them. And then it is Paulina and Antoinette's birthday. The first thing I'm going to do is roll for Princess Taryn. If Princess Taryn gets a 1, she does not survive birth. And this is for the first baby, 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh no, we lose a baby. Okay, this is for the second baby. Okay, so the second baby makes it, and then I need to roll to see if that baby turns into an infant, and the roll numbers are 12, 16, 18. This is for the second baby to see if it survives to infancy. Awesome, so the second baby does survive to infancy, so they do lose one of their twin sons. So we're also going to roll for Antonia and Paulina. So for them to survive into a toddler, they have to roll a... They cannot roll a 4 or an 8. So this is for Antonia. She survives. And this is for Paulina. And she also survives to toddlerhood. I did not put any skin details on them because I'm having a glitch right now where skin details are disappearing. But here is Paulina. They're about to run off to the country estate as well. And Antonia is the same as her twin, except for she has blue eyes. And this is Prince Rodolfo. They named him Rodolfo. I actually like it. So, and he got the recessive genes from the Alder family from Halia, so he has green eyes. And I'm going to take Princess Taryn and Arthur and move them to the country. They're going to stay in the country castle that Princess Taryn was raised in after her older brother, Prince James, attempted to overthrow her father. And without further ado, I'm going to say goodbye, and this is going to be the end of 1326. I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching. This episode was more conversational and moving pieces around. 1327 will be a day in a life and kind of adjusting after everyone has moved away. Oh yeah, and Lancelot has to move away. So I'll do that in the next episode. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, I'm feeling kind of sick and I feel like my fever's coming back. So I want to wrap things up here. So without further ado, I'll see you in the next episode on Thursday, and it'll be year 1327. Bye guys. Thank you for watching.